The first, I would say, insight that I gained during my career when I started off with Grameenphone is that we had introduced microcredit at that time. And we were giving, mobile phones to the women in the villages. Jetake bole pulli phone, right? So Grameenphone ladies, they would actually sell airtime to the other villages. So there was like a shared access to telecommunication. And that's how I saw how we empowered women. Because then they were earning, they were being able to make decisions, and at the same time, they were the ones who were sending their children to schools. And that is something that really connected with me, and I thought, my God, this is how we can really change lives with technology. So that's something that I learned about how we can empower women with technology. And over time now, after 25 years, I think it's amazing to see because if you really look at the first, second, and third industrial revolution, women were largely excluded from that. And we have seen really domination of men when it comes to economic empowerment during those during those 2 centuries. But now, with the fourth industrial revolution, the foundation is digital, right? So this is the time where we should definitely include women into this entire system so that we don't lose out and we can minimize that gender divide that we have.
I'm from a small town in the north of England, from a working class family where my dad is English and my mum is from Poland. And so I sort of never really felt like we properly fit in. And nobody else was Polish in the north of England at that time. At university, I studied computer science and artificial intelligence. So I could have taken your path.
Absolutely.
Maybe we're living opposite lives. I think because I felt it was a legitimate sort of career path to take, that it might get me a job. But really, I always knew, even though I didn't have the words for it, that it was the arts and art that was going to show me who I was, and that I was interested in finding out how everybody can use it to find out who they are and who other people are. Straight after university, I went to art college. It was just a no-brainer for me, just for 1 year. And then I started working in a completely different industry to my actual degree.
So I think those of us who are here would actually understand culturally it's so difficult for us because if anybody had studied computer science and AI and wanted to get into art, I'm sure there would be havoc in the family, right? Saying that you can't do this, you wasted like 4 or 5 years of your life and now you want to digress and, do something else, pursue something else. But that's what passion is about. Whatever you're passionate about, if you pursue it and you love what you do, then, nobody can stop you. And look where you are today.
That fact that we don't have to have, a job title or some kind of like recognized leadership role in order to be a leader.
Right.
You said some really interesting things backstage about this sort of male shape of leadership and what you thought about that, and how you felt you might have been perceived or not.
Yes, I think you were asking me that sometimes we often think that in order to be a leader in this man's world, so to speak, you have to act like a man, dress up like a man. And I was sharing with her that I so detest that notion. I am very happy who I am. I don't look at myself as a man or a woman. I'm an individual contributing to the best of my possibilities. And I always try to excel, and I don't look at myself as a man or a woman. However, I embrace my femininity. I love the fact that as women, we have empathy. We are compassionate. And I think that is a strength for us. And we should always exercise that and show that. So you don't really have to act like a man to be a leader. You can be a leader, again, at any position, whatever gender you have. If you have that confidence, humility, integrity, you will be a leader. If you're able to show the vision to others as well, give them the direction, you're a leader on your own. You don't have to act in a specific manner to be that.
Yeah, and I think that's so... Because what you said is absolutely true. So many women and girls, because of the structures that we live in, who are told that they don't matter, they're actually held back from themselves. It's very difficult for them to love themselves. Yeah. Their confidence might be stripped away because of these systematic oppressions. And I really dream for a world where you don't have to be absolutely excellent all the time as a woman in order to excel, that you can sort of be average in order to get to the top of your game. You know, you don't have to have this sort of steely strength all the time and pushing all the time. You know, I dream for an environment where you can be okay and have a fantastic job. I'm not saying, by the way, that really striving to excel, to be the best that you can be, isn't important. That's what we both agreed. We hold very dear to our hearts the idea of doing the best with what we've got. There's systems around us that I think are stopping women sometimes who don't have these particular strengths from getting forward.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting point. And I just want to mention one thing, that I have been in that situation where I never showed my vulnerability to others for a certain period of time. I really had to put up that very strong personality and person, nothing matters, right? But deep inside, I was getting affected. And it's only after many years that I learned that vulnerability is actually a strength. It's a sign of courage. And when you show vulnerability, it will only help you for betterment, for growth. And it also helps you to build that kind of relationship and get support, you know. Yeah. So we often feel that, no, don't show that vulnerability, you know, don't be vulnerable. But I think it's important for men and women both to have that courage, you know, to show and express that vulnerability. And that only helps us to be better.